Okay, so I'm here with Steve Shiels. I'm out at the AUL complex at an event here for walking football. Steve, it's unreal, right? First of all, the pitches are in absolutely immaculate condition. They're set up, there's 6 pitches on one side, 6 pitches on the other. This walking football, please tell us all about it.
Well, it's a slower form of the game, which is played by older people, both men and women. For the women, you need to be 40 plus. For the men, there's teams at 50, 60 and over 70s. Our oldest player here today is 83-year-old Willie Mulhall, who is an ex-Shamrock Rovers man. I'm an Irish boy born in England, in Slough. Her parents were from Strokestown in Roscommon,
right,
and from Drumore West in Sligo. And myself and the wife will be staying on for the rest of the week to go out and visit the cousins out there. But I've been playing walking football now for 8 years. In England, it's a very well developed game. We play in competitive leagues. So I captain the Slough Town team, that's my local town. And we have teams over 50, over 60 and over 65. And we're developing a ladies team at the moment. But we've been playing for many years. I play myself 4 times a week, typically.
4 times a week?
Yeah.
4 times a week? You're playing football 4 times a week?
I'm fitter now. I'm 63 years of age.
63, I was going to ask.
I'm fitter now than I ever was, even when I was at school.
Yeah.
If you measure my blood pressure, my resting heart rate, it's athlete level. I mean, it's astounding how fit you can become playing walking football. You're not supposed to run at all. As you've seen today, there is a bit of very fast walking, to say the least.
Well, it reminds me a little bit about the walking, the people that are walking in the Olympics, the walking race.
Yeah.
And in fact, I do listen. I do hear the whistle going off quite a little bit more. It's very interesting. Sometimes overly aggressive tackles, or and this is my first time looking at it. The referees seem to be very good, and people understand the rules. And it seems to be that injury prevention is, of course, the main focus.
Yeah. And bear in mind, what you're seeing today is competitive walking football.
Yeah.
They're totally different from the social walking football that I'm playing 3 or 4 times a week. So in that game, we ensure that people aren't being fouled. There's no contact, if at all possible.
Yeah.
You get the incidental contact, but certainly no tackling from the side or from behind, for instance. And because you're walking, there shouldn't be the clashes that you might get in normal football. So the idea is injury prevention. We also ensure that the ball doesn't go above head height. So no heading. That's a foul straight away if you head the ball. So it's a much safer game, played at a slower pace. Anyone can play it. You know, we've got people that come along who are really quite unfit when they start with us, and it takes them a good few months to get used to the game. But after a couple of months, you see they shed the weight. Some of the players that I play with have got type 2 diabetes. I've even known them to reverse the type 2 diabetes as a result of playing walking football. You know, it's some enormous benefits that come from it, and mental health benefits as well, especially for people if they've lost their partner at any age. You know,
or if they want a new one.
Yeah, but they're great social benefits to join in a team, and that camaraderie that you get within a team, and just the banter that you get between lads.
Of course, yeah.
You know, we all think we're lads still. We're old men, really. But you get that banter that within the groups. We set up WhatsApp groups for each of our walking football groups, and that banter goes on off the field all week. So you've constantly got a group of friends that you can rely on and have a chat with at any time.
Well, you know, it was very interesting. I was walking across and I could see some of the women's teams limbering up and practicing there, taking a rest in between games. And you won't believe this, right? You know what they did? I was walking past with my camera, you know, and one of them, I could see one of them just warming up on the side. And you know what she did? She nutmegged me. You know the way you know what the kids do?
Yes,
you know the little kids are doing all the
Yeah.
time, where they without you looking, they slip the ball through your legs.
Yeah.
She did that to me. You know what I mean? And they all had a bit of a laugh. And you know, that's what football is. You know, we keep saying at Striker Online that football is both expanding and extending, right?
Yep.
It's expanding in the terms of all the different games that you can play, but it's also extending in terms of the relationship that we all can have with football. Whether it's, you know, 5-a-side, 6-a-side, 7-a-side, when we're too busy to be committed to an 11-a-side team, or, you know, after our over 35s career,
Yes.
we can get into walking football. But one thing I want to try and understand is, you know, it's so developed in the UK, and obviously this international competition is happening right here.
Yeah.
How have you've been the main person that's been growing it, and now we're working with Tony Hatton. You know, I've had a few conversations with Tony Hatton.
Yeah.
Tell us a little bit about that, about what you've had to do to grow it. Because
First of all, I am not being the main person. There's
Yeah.
a whole management team.
Yeah.
And there's a lot of us involved in this organisation, and all of us have contributed heavily to growing the game. We really want to grow the game in Ireland to see it as being successful as it is in England and in Europe. We've got teams here today from France, Italy, Switzerland, Isle of Man, Northern Ireland, you know, and of course England. They're coming from all over, and the game is much more progressed in those other nations, particularly England. It's been going for 12 years now, I think, in England. Started out in Chesterfield.
Yeah.
So England is, if you like, the forerunner. But we know that there are so many health and social benefits to be had from the game that, you know, Ireland needs this for the health of the nation. And we are very keen to promote this through the health service executive and through the FAI. They should be joining forces to save the health service a fortune.
Well, you know, absolutely. And I mean, from a Striker Online perspective, we believe there's two significant areas where the UK and Europe are well ahead of us,
Yeah.
and they are futsal at one end
Yeah.
and walking football at the other.
Yeah.
Both absolutely no-brainers for anybody to get involved with, and we're delighted to be involved in this, and I feel very honoured to have the opportunity to learn about it more here and be able to put it onto our platform and spread the word.
Yes,
I just heard there somebody that heard the interview with Tony Hatton, and that's how it works.
Yeah.
Social media is the way that we're all consuming the news. The only thing we hear in the news is X, Y, and Z, whereas here we're learning about the stuff that really interests us.
Yeah.
And we look forward to covering this competition. We're going to bring more resources up here tomorrow,
Yeah.
so we try and get, you know, everybody at the kind of presentation, or as many people as we can together, and try to make sure that we can communicate. I feel that what I certainly got as I walked around was, you know, the grey hairs.
Yeah.
And as I'm getting more grey hair, it feels like, here, listen, it's not over yet.
Yeah, absolutely. Yeah, there's no reason why you need to stop playing football when you're retired. In fact, that gives you 5 days a week that you wouldn't normally have had. When you'd normally be in work, you can be playing football every one of those days once you get into the habit again of playing.
Yeah.
But yeah, we've been doing a lot in the UK in order to raise money to support this event. Yeah. So if you look at the back of
Yes, please. Yes.
This was something that I came up with, an idea that I came up with back in.
Yeah, we have the Camino de Navi.
Yeah, last October, and we actually staged it in the week running up to St Patrick's Day. So the navvies, of course, built the canals in England. Not only England, they built them in America, they built them in Ireland, everywhere else, and they were great strapping men. 10% of them were Irishmen, the navvies in England. That is.
Yeah.
They were the professional navvies, because the rest of the navvies were the labourers from the local area, from the agricultural labourers. But the Irish navvies were great big hulking men who ate a lot and drank a lot every day. And I came up with the idea of celebrating the navvy and walking along the entire length of the Grand Union Canal Now, for those who are English, they'll know that that goes from London, from the centre of London, all the way up through the country to the centre of Birmingham.
Wow.
We walked the entire length, or I did,
Yeah.
over a course of a week, 152 miles.
Yeah.
Other people in our organisation walked, some people managed to walk a whole day.
Yeah.
Some people just managed to walk half a day,
Yeah.
morning or afternoon. But in total, working together, we raised £7,000
Brilliant.
through GoFundMe.
Yeah.
And we brought sufficient monies into the organisation to hold this event.
Unbelievable.
Because these are expensive events to run.
Of course they are. Of course they are.
You know, so we're able to put this event on, and fortunately next year someone else can go through that
Yeah.
expense,
Yeah.
and perhaps we can go to Italy, France,
Yes.
or
Yeah.
Switzerland, wherever, and enjoy their hospitality.
Well, you know, the great thing about this is that, you know, there's so much content that emanates from an event like this, and so much goodwill, and so many contacts made. There's so much goodness, so much good value here, that these are the type of events, and there's more as well in grassroots football, but these are the type of events that actually attract businesses and brands to be able to associate themselves with these vibrant communities and these amazing societal things that bring huge benefits to society, and to link themselves and be part of the growth. And here is a perfect example of something that is guaranteed to grow significantly. Now hold on, the referees are giving us hassle. So we'll close
I have
out.
to go away. I've got to record all of the results in the spreadsheet. So
All right,
nice
super.
chatting to
Thanks
you.
a million.
Cheers,
Well
Alex.
done.